So, we're going on a trip. We're going to go to Spain. Somewhere in Spain, in Zaragoza, actually. And this is actually when I was on the bus, and we were going somewhere, and I just thought, it's kind of fun to take that video like that. So, come on, baby, work for me. Next, there we go. We're going to go to the Basilica de Nuestra Señora del Pilar, the Basilica of Our Lady of the Pillar. It's in Zaragoza. Zaragoza, you see, is close to Barcelona. Bilbao is right there. Madrid is right there. Toledo. My friend from Spain is from a little itty-bitty town here. I've never heard of it, and don't ask me what it is because I can't remember it anymore. But anyway, we're going over there. But first we have to go to a rest stop. I have to show you this one because that just blew my mind. This is a rest stop, average rest stop in Spain. You have a little bit of a restaurant and snacks, and it's kind of like a Buc-ee's, but toned down. You don't have the barbecue, but you got a place to sit. You got great bathrooms. You got the only rest stop that I've seen sort of like this is when you get, I think, on I-35. When you pass Tulsa going into Kansas, there's one that goes above. That's the only one I've seen similar to it. Now, Florida has some really good ones. If you get on the Turnpike, the Florida Turnpike, they have some really good rest stops. But this was one of the. But this is average rest stop in Spain. So I have to show y'all because it would. I mean, why can't we have this everywhere? So anyway, the Basilica de Nuestra Señora del Pilar is in Zaragoza between two bridges, the Puente de Piedra, the stone bridge, and Puente de Santiago. You've heard of Santiago, right? El Camino de Santiago, St. James. We're going to go to the Plaza de Nuestra Señora del Pilar first. The Plaza of Our Lady of the Pillar. They have this statue on one end, and that is actually a map of the plaza. So you get to see what you need to look at from the plaza. You have the church, you have all these stores, the restaurants, you have further on up, I'll show you that in a minute. But it's all right there. It's a little bit map for you. And this is kind of the plaza. Boy, I hate having the speakers up there. I hear me above me. So you have the church right there. You have all this other commotion going on everywhere. It's a great place to go hang out. And they have a place called La Calle Murallas Romanas. You know what murallas is?
The walls.
Walls. Roman walls. Of course, Julius is there, welcoming you and pointing to a wall. That's all that's left of the wall. But you got the wall. You also have Goya. Heard of Goya? Besides the food. Goya the writer. He's got his own little plaza. Because he wasn't born in Zaragoza, but not too long after he was born, the family moved to Zaragoza. So Zaragoza takes him as their own. He's ours. That's basically what they're saying. So you have this little plaza right there where he's at with the Queen and some of the lady, I don't know. Honestly, I wish I knew some of these people, but they were sitting around drinking wine and talking while Goya reads. And I take selfies with pretty much anybody. So I have to take a picture with her. She wasn't very helpful. But you can tell that people liked her because their rubber head and they put their arm around her shoulder, so, she's known.
¿Qué pasó con su nariz?
I have no idea. The rubber nose for luck? I don't know. So here's the rest of the plaza. And there's this wonderful place called La Fuente de la Hispanidad. the fountain of Hispanicity. Is there such a word?
It is now.
There is now, yeah, you're right. I just made that up. Of being Hispanic, basically, of Hispanics. Now, if you notice, it kind of sort of looks like Cuba's up there, Central America, South America, and that's because it is. It's beautiful. And it's really a well thought out plan that. Better here? Okay. Well thought out plans to have this done. Here's from another angle, and there's the top. As soon as, being Cuban, as soon as you see the shape, you go, that's Cuba. And then you realize what the rest of the whole thing is. It's really well thought out, and it has to do with Hispanic heritage, which is a big deal in Spain. There's also a store named Santiago. He's important in this city, especially with the Lady of the Pillar. If you don't know the story at all, you're about to hear it. And this is Nuestra Señora del Pilar, Our Lady of the Pillar. These are little statues that you can buy of her to take home. You also have Pope John Paul II over here. He's not as important as she is, but it's okay. And that's the church. The church supposedly was designed by the same gentleman that designed St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. So it's huge, and it's the mega size type thing. In the middle, right there in the middle, if I did this correctly, there it is again. You notice I have the 4 towers and everything. In the middle, they have this mural, work of art, where you have the Lady of the Pillar, you have the lady on top, you have the shining from there, and you have all the priests and apostles and saints all praying down here. That's who she is. And if you don't know the story, I'm about to tell you. The story goes that St. James, Santiago, was, of course, spreading the gospel. He made his way to Spain. And he started, he and his friends were with him, and they were spreading the gospel. And he was getting kind of tired of the whole thing, and he didn't know if it was doing anything or if anything was happening. Our Lady, who, by the way, was still alive at the time, appeared to him at the same, that whole bilocation thing. She appeared to him with a pillar, and she said, "You're doing great. I want you to build a church here. And here's the first pillar." They did build a church there. And you can go see the pillar. So this is what she looked like. Well, I don't know, I couldn't tell you if this is what she looked like or not, but this is what their interpretation of Spain. I think she's gorgeous. And that curly hair is So there it is. This is a story. She heard the voice when they were at the Ebro River, heard the voices of the angels singing. The Virgin Mother of Christ appeared to him, standing on a marble pillar. I forgot that part. Who she was still alive, and she asked the apostles to build a church there with the altar around the pillar where she stood, and promised that this place will remain until the end of time, so that the virtue of God work portents and wonders through my intercession with those who implore my patronage in their needs. Hopefully it will say. She disappeared. They did the church, but they started building the church before it was finished. Santiago ordained one of the disciples as a priest, consecrated the place, took off. He became the first martyr, St. James. Historians and researchers defend this tradition, and they argue that there are a series of monuments and testimonies that demonstrate the existence of a church dedicated to the Virgin of Zaragoza. The oldest of these testimonies is the famous sarcophagus of Santa Engracia. I don't know what it would be in English. It's one of those names that I don't. The oldest of this, which has been preserved in Zaragoza since the 4th century, when the saint was martyred. The sarcophagus represents in a low relief the descent of the Virgin from heaven to appear to the Apostle Santiago. But there is, oh, oops. There's a picture that shouldn't be there. Well, anyway, this is what she looks like up close. This is what a picture looks like just before the security guard gets there and tells you to put the camera away. I've been to the castle in Madrid. I walked around and took pictures in places you're not supposed to. I did all that stuff. I pulled my camera out and that guard was on me like white on rice. It was crazy. I was like, dude, give me a break. I just want a picture. But there it is. So I went looking for pictures online of people that actually took pictures. This is what it looks like. And if you notice, there is a touch of St. Peter's Basilica. If you look at St. Peter's Basilica, you have the huge Holy Spirit, the stained glass, and the whole bit. He tried to do something similar to this with Mary on the clouds and the beams coming out and the whole bit. And there's the smaller version of it. And then behind it is where you have the pillar. And the pillar has been closed up, protected so that you don't attack the whole pillar, just a little section. And you can kiss it, you can worship it, you can put your venerate it. Yeah, not worship, venerate. Thank you. Yes. Now the feast day, conveniently enough, is the 12th of October. The Feast of Our Lady of the Pillar is celebrated on the 12th of October, and she's the patroness of the Hispanic peoples and the Spanish Civil Guard. A grand 9-day festival known as the Fiestas del Pilar is celebrated in Zaragoza every year in her honor. So there it is, and this is a jota, which is a traditional Spanish dance. Located down here. My guess is that each one of those walls is a different representation of a mystery. We have 4 sets of mysteries: the joyous mysteries, the glorious mysteries, the sorrowful mysteries, and now with the luminous mystery. I always think light.
Yeah, it is.
It is light. The joyous mysteries are moments that were joyful for Mary, like.
But always pertain to the life of Jesus.
They always pertain to the love of Jesus, but the moments that were joyful for Mary, like when the angel appeared to her and told her, "Hey,
Jesus was born.
When Jesus was born,
When he was found in the temple."
Yes, very good. It's almost like you know this. It's almost like I'm stuck.
You're doing great.
The glorious mysteries are glorious events, beginning with the resurrection.
The Ascension, Pentecost.
Yes. The Ascension, the sorrowful mysteries are, of course, the Passion of Christ. And then the luminous mysteries are special moments in the life of Christ. Those were created by St. John Paul II. It's things like his baptism, the
Wedding at Cana.
The wedding at Cana.
Preaching the good news.
Preaching the good news of the gospel.
The Transfiguration.
She knows this stuff. I just let her. You want to come up? So, because you have each, when you go to say the Our Father, you have that mystery, and you talk about, and you read a little Bible verse about it, and you meditate on that, on that mystery of that moment. For example, when Angel Gabriel appeared to Mary and said, "You're your mama." Or actually, it's more like, "Will you be a mama?"
That's right.
It's more like that. So my guess is that each one of these is going to have a different moment on there, depending on what they're doing. If they're doing the joyful mysteries, these are whatever's going to be up front. If they're doing the glorious, there's going to be another one on the side. So it's all going to be a different thing. It's well thought out. Or at least I'm thinking it for them. I've never seen that, and I just have to share it with you all because I thought this is a cultural thing that doesn't happen very often. That is really cool.
Yeah, thank you.
And of course, there's fireworks. How can you not have a festival without fireworks? Because you never see, well, in other words, when you think about Spain, you don't think mountains or a place that looks like the Alps.
Right.
With all that green. My family lives in the northern part of Spain, so I got used to being comfy and nice and green and everything beautiful. Then you get back to Texas to 102 degrees, and you're going, can I go back? But it's all there. You can go from the southern coast of the Mediterranean, nice and warm and balmy, through Madrid, go all the way up north, we have all the mountains. It's an amazing place. So Feliz Día de la Hispanidad. That's October the 12th also. Their parade begins around the Fountain of Neptune, which, by the way, is also the fountain where that other Madrid team goes to. Not Real Madrid, but the other one, the Atletico. Whenever they win a game or they win a big match, this is where they come to celebrate. Then there's Cibeles, which is where Real Madrid goes. Yes, that's my team. And that's where, and this is Cibeles. And the fountains are not that far away from each other. But they have them. And it's also, I gotta go back to show you. This is also Spain's version of a roundabout circle, although it has lights in it. So it's like you miss the whole point of roundabouts. But that's okay. It's Spain. It's humongous. I dare anybody that wants to put their life on the line to drive in Spain. I didn't, and I would not. My buddy Fernando did, and it scared the crap out of me. Did you drive in Spain? Oh, good Lord, woman, you're brave. It's crazy because they don't insure the insurance works different. You insure the person, but not the car. So it doesn't matter what car you're driving. I don't forget what it is, but there's a difference with it. So it doesn't matter how many dings and bangs and things you take out from the other car. It's fine. Insurance takes care of everything. It's like, okay.
There are so many motorcyclists.
Oh, that's the other one. If you go anywhere in Europe, you have motorcyclists and bicyclists. So your attention level goes. Well, there you go. So they go around Cibeles, and they celebrate it. It's coming up, their parade, and this was from 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. This is what their parade is. It's basically a military parade. Show it off. They have the Army. They have their version of Army, Navy, Marines, and they also have the Civil Guard, the Civil Police. They're all everywhere. When you go around Madrid, you don't see just the police. You see the police, the Civil Guard, the military. You see them around. Everybody's there. And of course, the firemen gotta be there. What kid's not gonna want to see a fireman? They're just fine. So they're all. Anyway, let's move on. That was nice. And this was you know what tuna is? It's not the fish. Tuna is a group, a singing group. They have guitars, they have mandolins, they have castanets. They all dress the same, usually with a cape. And then you have little ribbons from all the places where you sang at, because when you go there to sing, the way that they might pay you, they might not, but you always get a ribbon saying that you were there, you were part of that thing. See, this gentleman's got a whole bunch of them over here, and their uniform is the colors of Spain. And this is in New York. It's a National Day of Spain. It's a national holiday held annually on October 12th. It's also traditional, commonly referred to as the Día de la Hispanidad, commemorating Spanish legacy worldwide, especially in Hispanic America. There's many places where, even though they got the independence from Spain, they didn't want to lose touch with Spain. Cuba was one of those places. My mom was telling me that she had a grandfather from Spain that fought for Cuban independence, and the other grandfather from Spain fought for Spain. But when the whole battle was over, it was fine. Hang around, we don't care. Cuba wanted Spain to hang out there. And in some countries you have that. So it's not like we kicked out the British. It was more like, okay, hey, we won, so y'all get over it. Columbus Day is what's traditionally done here. And it's a federal holiday still. It officially celebrates the anniversary of Christopher Columbus' arrival in the Americas. He went ashore in Guanahani, an island in the Bahamas. And this is just a nice little Santa Maria. The three ships, of course, were La Niña, La Pinta, and La Santa Maria. La Niña was likely nicknamed for a ship called Santa Clara. The nickname is thought to come from the name of the ship's owner, Juan Niño. So they call it La Niña. It is unknown what the Pinta's original name might have been. Santa Maria is a perfectly saintly name for the third, Santa Maria de la Inmaculada Concepción. It's named after the Virgin Mary. It was originally called La Gallega, the Galician woman. Now, I don't know if you guys got a chance, and when we were in Texas, we did get a chance. They made some reproductions of La Niña, La Pinta, and Santa Maria, and they took them around different places, and they were in Corpus for a while. So we got to see them. Folks, these people were either brave or crazy. Those things are tiny. I'm talking drive you up the wall tiny. If you think a family trip in a station wagon is bad, this is like hell on water. I was like, man, that's too tiny. And then you think, okay, everybody's on the top floor. There's only two floors, the top one and the bottom one. The bottom one is full of food, which you don't know if it's going to be any good, or chickens or goats or whatever you're going to eat. So you slept on top. Oh, I did not appreciate that. I just thought, these people were crazy. I'm glad we don't live in that era anymore. But they make them look, I love the way they make them look so nice and big. They were not. They were tiny, tiny, tiny. There were two Spanish singers that I thought were like amazing. One was called Rocío Dúrcal. She was cute as a bug. I mean, she was cute. She would do these great songs about amor en el aire, love in the air. When she and this other two, it was always her against this guy, and then at the end they ended up getting together. And then there was this one. Her name was Marisol. Rocío Dúrcal died within the last 10 years. She went to Mexico and became a big mariachi singer over there. And I saw her and I was like, she's so beautiful. And she was. Marisol, I don't know what happened to her, but this is her singing on the TV. And this is a song that growing up, I heard it several times. Anyway, there you go, folks. You've been to Spain, you learned about Our Lady on the Pillar. You learned about Hispanic, gay, Hispanicity. Just created a new word.